Rarity and nostalgia are two of the strongest cornerstones to any obsessive collector's hearts, and with video games it's no exception. Throughout the lifespan of the PlayStation 1, there have been various titles that are still sought down today with fervour. So here's the top 10 rarest PS1 games. In 1997, Matrix Software developed an action RPG for the PlayStation called Alundra. Alundra is a dark story about a man who has the power to enter dreams. When he's shipwrecked on an island, where strange nightmares are causing people to be murdered in their sleep, he uses his powers to help the villagers. Alundra was praised for its difficulty, puzzles, story, and dark themes, and was considered one of the best RPGs of 1997. This popularity probably contributed to its rarity, although used copies are still in ready supply. If you want a used copy of Alundra, you can find them for as low as $25. New though? New copies cost around $230, with only a handful even on the market. Fortunately, Alundra is available on the PlayStation Network as a digital download. 1999 saw the release of Koudelka, a game developed by Saknoth that combined tactical RPG gameplay with survival horror elements. It features 3 protagonists with intertwined storylines who investigate the dark history of Nemeton Monastery. Koudelka itself got somewhat mixed reviews, but it spawned a cult classic series for PlayStation 2, Shadow Hearts. Although the connection isn't as strong as it is between the Shadow Hearts games, Koudelka is the first game in the series. It's not on PlayStation Network, so players interested in trying will have to track down a used copy, which go for around $55. Or one of the incredibly rare new copies which, when appeared for sale at all, are now near $250. Tri-Ace's first Valkyrie profile game came out in 1999 and was a huge success, both commercially and critically. It is a turn-based RPG with platformer elements, and it stars a Valkyrie named Lenneth, who sets out on a quest to prepare for Ragnarok. Its gameplay, story and characters are all praised, and it went to receive 2 sequels. The first Valkyrie profile was eventually remade for the PSP, although neither the PSP nor the original PlayStation version was even brought to PlayStation Network. So, how rare is a PlayStation copy of Valkyrie Profile? Used copies begin somewhere around $95, while new copies hover around $220. Tales of Destiny came out in 1999 and in 1998. It was released in North America as the first localized game from Namco's Tales series. It is an action RPG about a man named Stan, who encounters a sentient soul named Dialmus. Stan and his companions soon learn about a relic from an ancient war, and they must stop the people trying to claim the relic for its power. While the graphics received criticism, people generally loved Tales of Destiny for its combat, story and characters. However, its remake and direct sequel were never released in the West, and Tales of Destiny is still not available on PSN. Used copies aren't quite as rare as Valkyrie Profile, selling for around $75 at the lowest. New copies of Tales of Destiny, however, are a painful $320. Suikoden was a popular RPG, and its sequel is even more beloved. Suikoden 2 is an RPG with both traditional turn-based battles and large-scale tactical battles. It has over 100 characters that can be recruited, and focuses on 2 friends who each have one half of the Rune of Beginning, and are caught up in an invasion. It got excellent reviews at the time, and is highly regarded today. Unfortunately, it had a limited run and was never reprinted. While it was compiled for the first game for the PSP eventually, that version was only released in Japan. Between its popularity and limited availability, Suikoden was doomed to be rare. Used copies can be bought for around $75 now, but someone intent on a new copy should expect a figure around $400. Yikes. No wonder fans rejoiced when Suikoden 2 was added to the PlayStation Network. In 1997, Namco released a platformer called KLANOA, Daughter Phantomile in Japan, and the localized version followed in 1998. KLANOA features an anthropomorphic cat protagonist named KLANOA and his friend, Hupao, who is a spirit contained within a ring. Together, they must save the world of Phantomile from a dark spirit. KLANOA is a 2.5D side-scrolling platform game, divided into various levels. KLANOA fights enemies by using his ring to attack them with wind and throw them, and there are also puzzles to solve. Despite its short length, the game was generally well received. Sequels and a remake followed, although now the series appears to be dead. The original KLANOA, Daughter Phantomile, is in pretty short supply now, with used copies rare enough to sell for $120. It's no surprise that new copies are $350. Thankfully, its Wii remake isn't quite as rare, and the PlayStation game is available digitally from the PlayStation Network. While a lot of these games have left legacies behind, Team Buddies is one of the most obscure. Developed by Psygnosis Camden Studio, it came out in 2000 and wasn't quite like anything else on the market. It's a shooter with similarities to Worms, real-time strategy gameplay, and a bizarre and colourful world. It had a single-player campaign, as well as several multiplayer modes. Team Buddies had a mixed reception at first, but over time it became a cult classic. This cult status is aided by its rarity. A limited release makes it one of the most difficult PlayStation games to find. If you're intent on buying Team Buddies, which isn't on PSN, a handful of used copies are selling for around $100, and currently, lone one person has a $350 new copy up for sale. Namco released a third Tales game in 2000 in Japan, and it came to North America in 2001. Wait, didn't we just say Tales of Destiny's direct sequel was never localized? Despite its title, Tales of Destiny 2 on the PlayStation has no ties to Tales of Destiny. Its true name is Tales of Eternia, but it was localized under the name of Tales of Destiny 2 so people who played Tales of Destiny would recognize the title. This action RPG centers on three friends, Raid, Farah and Keel, who become involved in a conflict between two linked worlds. Its gameplay was praised, although its story was considered weaker. A PSP re-release came out in Japan and Europe as Tales of Eternia, but never reached North America. It's not available from PSN either, so brace yourself if you want to play Tales of Destiny 2. You might be able to find a used copy for $90, which is a far cry better than the $500 range new copies have reached. Capcom's Mega Man Legends series stands out as an unusual Mega Man spin-off, with strong stories and action-adventure gameplay, and this spin-off series actually had its own spin-off, a prequel released in 1999 called The Misadventures of Tron Boone. The Boones are antagonists of the Mega Man Legends series, but this game puts you in control of Tron Boone. When her family is taken captive by a rival pirate because they owe him money, Tron must obtain the funds to pay off the debt through any means necessary. It is divided into missions with various types of gameplay, puzzle missions, adventure missions, and action missions. Interacting with Tron's loyal Seribots also plays an important role. It was a popular game and had a limited run, a bad combustion. Used copies are worth $100, while the only new copies on the market come in at around $800. No wonder fans rejoiced last year when Misadventures of Trombone was added to the PlayStation Network. While for this list we mostly stuck to games available in multiple regions, LSD Dream Emulator is a Japan-only exploration game that might be the rarest one of all. It was developed by Asmic Ace Entertainment and came out in October 1998, and the content was based on a dream journal kept by one of the artists. The LSD in the title theoretically stands for Lovely Sweet Dream. Other phrases using the acronym show up in the game as well, such as in life, the Sentimus Dream, and in limbo, the silent dream. The more common meaning of LSD, however, is probably intentional, as the game explores a variety of strange and surreal dream worlds. LSD Dream Emulator was popularized through Let's Plays and got a cult following, but it'll be difficult to track down if you want to play it. If you search long enough, you might find someone selling a used copy for $280 or so. New copies? They don't seem to exist. The game is available on the Japanese PlayStation Network, but as far as physical copies go, LSD Dream Emulator is one of the rarest PlayStation 1 games of all time. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this week's list, and if you did, leave a like. And if you want to see more in the future, subscribe. And if you want to see more top 10s, click here for my top 10 video games that killed their franchise, or here for the top 10 best ghost games.